Hey everyone, it's Laura the Beauty Buster, and today I'm here to talk to you about one of my favorite products that I've been using by Soumya. It is, dun dun dun, my Kansa wands. These are so beautiful, and if you look, you can see the wood grain. They're so shiny and new and just gorgeous, gorgeous pieces that I can add into any treatment that I do, and so can you. So if you've never used a Kansa wand before, you're probably like, what is it and why do I want to use it? Which is a great question. So it's considered a sacred metal on the top here, and then it's a wood bottom, which is beautiful, beautiful wood. And it is copper, tin, and zinc that are in here. And so what these do is they help to attract the metals that are in your body and bring them to the surface. So it's increasing your circulation. You can drain lymph fluid with this. You can work on muscles with this, and it's really, really fun. So I'm going to show you a couple quick tricks that I use. So if you're working on yourself, it really is easiest to put your hair up. Let me do that just to get it out of the way. And then I like to use an oil with it. It really depends on what you're used to. I think oil is the best because you don't ever want to drag this on the face. I mean, you are going to be moving it around. And so in order to really do it correctly, you do need to have an oil on the face and on the body as well if you're doing body work, and on the feet. So I like to use my Secret Weapon Serum from Beauty Buster Skincare. I call it liquid gold. It's amazing. And I just take a few drops, and then I just put it all over my face. I don't need to use a lot, especially with this because it is, it smells so good. It is meadow foam and evening primrose oil and sandalwood and rose. So I just kind of like to get a nice little layer to give it a little bit of slip. So there are different ways you can do this. There's really not too many wrong ways. So I like to take the medium one here, and depending, so if I'm working on a man, I might take this larger one and just kind of start going down like this, just for the lymph drainage, and just to start opening those up a little bit and kind of gliding it around and kind of going down very gently. Like, I don't really feel this very much. Oh, and that feels really nice. And if you do the whole thing at once, or you can do one side, then do the other, but I do kind of like to open up this area first. And I'm going right over my shirt here, which you can. You can do this over clothes. So if you're doing an event, like a chair massage event, this is really great. Or if you want to just kind of give a little extra to clients, maybe while they're lashing. So you see how you can just massage that in and kind of just make little circles at the back of the neck. Feels really amazing. And then drain it down. You can also use this one to get right at the back of the occipital bone, which feels really good, and to the back of the neck. And because this one is smaller, it does, if they're laying down, it will kind of fit right in there. And with a little bit of oil, it'll just slide right in. This is really incredible for that kind of work. And then when I get to the face, I tend to use, it depends, I'll use either one, but you can see kind of the difference in how they go. So this one's gonna be really much better to get around the eye area. This one, not so much. And this one, either one of them, I kind of like the big one for the muscle here to lift. It really is up to you. And for the sinus area, I'll use this one. So let's go with this one right now. If it was a man's face, maybe different. So a lot of times people like to start in the middle of the forehead, and then I just like to bring that down. Forehead, bring that down. I kind of like to do things in threes. I don't know. And then I'll just do my basic kind of following the lymph flow. I'll just start this way. And then, you know, I do ask people what's going on with you. So then I say, oh, I've got really bad sinus problems. Okay. So then you can kind of place it right in here and put a little bit of pressure and kind of right under that cheekbone, relieve some of that pressure and down. Now here I am putting a little bit more pressure. You don't have to, but I am because I am working the sinus areas. And I'll even sometimes get that in there, and you can like, it just automatic relieves sinus pressure. And this is when I'll just kind of use the end here, and it feels really good. And have them breathe in. If you have some essential oils, you can eucalyptus, and then breathe down. I have marionette lines here. So I just like to take this and kind of just, and go up. And this is so attractive on video. All in the name of aesthetics. I'm getting ugly. Okay, and so this is what you can do for your clients. And then I kind of like to finish going down, and you can go through your lymph drainage. And then the same thing. Ooh, look how nice that looks. Now you see on that one side how it's lifted here and here compared to there. Nice. So then around the brows, because everybody wants to have a higher brow, or they have sinus problems, tension, you can lay this right in there and just let it sit, and that really kind of feels good. And then I like to go around the brow bone, and then you can go around. I'm getting a little lift as I go around. My eyebrow's still there. Okay, so you can see how I did get some lift there, and this side is really, I really see a difference there, and that makes me so happy. So wait, now I have to do the other side really fast. Okay, so that's how we can work on the face, on ourselves, or on other people. I can't really do my other side without taking a 20-minute video. So that's that. When people have those deep forehead lines, you can also take it when you're doing your circles and you're going down on the other side. You can also do a little back and forth. And this is nice to do on yourself or on other people. You can keep these a little cool, and that will feel so nice. That cooling will give you a little bit of extra firming. Okay, so with this big one, we can work on, like I said, the neck and towards the back of the neck, and even if someone has an injury, I love to use these, and I use these in my treatment that I made, a body treatment I developed for athletes, specifically with old injuries or new injuries, because most athletes have some kind of injury going on at the time. This is a great way to bring oxygen, vitamins, minerals to the surface and increase the circulation in the injured area to help heal it quicker without putting any real pressure on it. And without re-injuring it or causing any kind of problems. So wherever it is, if it's in that shoulder joint, underneath, in the armpit, rotator cuff, anything like that, you can definitely work on it. This is amazing in the shoulder blade, and I just kind of work in the shoulder blade, in and around, in and around. And so if you're not doing any other body work, then I definitely recommend when you do foot treatments, reflexology. So if this is someone's foot, you can take all of these actually and use them. So you can just start with the big one to kind of get the foot going. And you don't really want to go over some of like the bonier parts, or if you do, go very, very gently. And you can kind of just go around the heel, on the sides, on the tips kind of here, because there's a lot of nerve endings there. And if you know reflexology, all those points, right? And then you can go up the leg, which even feels good going up my arm, but I would go up the leg. And then I like to take this one, which is incredible for footwork. And then I really like to start in that reflex point here, kind of relax them, the solar plexus. And then, because I do have the oil on there, it gives it just enough slip to where you're not pulling the skin or dragging or making it feel like you're staggering and jumping and it's uncomfortable for the client. It should be nice, smooth going. And then I can really work the side of the foot. And then you can really work in here on this side, on the inner side, the spinal area. And then you can do a little on the tips of each toe, little bit of pressure. And then in between, this is great because it comes on the sides here, if you can see. It goes right in between the fingers or in the toes, if this was the toes. But you can do this for handwork. If people, you know, with their phones, people typing, computer work all day long, this is going to feel really good. I'm getting right in between the fingers or the toes, whatever it is. And this is a great hand treatment, by the way. I mean, I've never gone anywhere on any continent and they've pulled out a Kansa wand and used it on my hands or my feet. In the facial, yes, but you shouldn't even have to ask for it. It should just be a part of it. It just feels really good. So yeah, definitely a hand or a foot treatment. And then I have this one that I was using for part of my face as well, which depending on their foot, you can definitely use it. Again, end with it. It's really, really, really nice feeling. So there are so many things. I just want to make sure that I get through all of them. Oh, the head. Hello. This is great, especially if someone has alopecia or a bald spot. For men, you can just go over the head. And this is going to definitely stimulate the circulation, get hair growth potentially. Who doesn't want beautiful hair? It feels really good. And then you can end, and it doesn't pull the hair. Like a lot of things that you do in the hair sometimes pull the hair. This does not. So it's really gonna plump up the face when we do that. See, I did this one longer, so it looks a little bit better. But literally, it's like a 2-minute treatment, and it's incredible. And if man has a beard, you can definitely take this one and definitely work through the beard. This is a really good way to kind of work out some of that oil, get the circulation going. Sometimes their beard, they don't really take care of it very well, and this is a really good way to get in there and to work on it. Yes. Okay. Like I said, if you want to go lightly and for your lymph drainage, you would go lightly with it. This one is a little heavy on its own. So actually I would probably just choose to go with this to make sure that I'm not putting too much pressure on for lymph drainage. This is going to lower inflammation. Anytime you lower inflammation, that is great. On the body, the skin, no matter where, it doesn't matter. We always want to be, we don't want to have inflammation on our skin or in our bodies. It's really what wreaks havoc with our bodies. So we never want to have that. I will tell you, sometimes when you use the wand, you will be using it and you'll like think you're looking so great. It feels so good. And then people are like, what's on your face? What's going on there? And you will see, and actually, in some people, a brown or a little black coloring come up on your face. And what is that? Well, it's just excess acid in your cells that the wand is attracting up to the surface. So all you do is just wipe it with a sponge or with a tissue. It comes right off. There's nothing to be afraid of, but that's really good because it shows that we are detoxing the skin and getting rid of excess acid in the cells. A lot of times circular motions can be really good, especially on the temples. This feels really amazing, and it's just a little bit of pressure and you kind of just stop there. So this is really good for self-care. This is really great for your clients. Like I said, you can use this on hands, feet, shoulders, neck, face, anywhere that you want to use it. Like you can use it with any single treatment that you do. I definitely recommend you need to use an oil underneath to make the wand give it a little bit of slip, but you don't want it too much because you want to have control as well. And I definitely recommend, look at this beautiful box. I can't wait to show you again. It's a beautiful box that it comes in. And I actually keep mine in the box so I know where they are, number one. Keep them all together, and so also they don't get banged around, and I don't drop them, so they sit in there in that perfectly. So that is my little video on the Kansa wands, and if you have any questions, you can email the company. There it is. All right, guys, thank you. Take care.